Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2, about to start a brand new city for 2026. So let's go ahead and hit new game. I'm gonna play with normal, which is more like how we started Second City, although it does remove the government subsidies, which I think I'm fine with. We're gonna power through normal. We're gonna figure it out. I was looking at the maps. I think we're gonna do Driftwood Reach from the Bridges and Ports DLC. And also, I apologize. I have a bit of a cold, so my voice might sound a little crazy. I'm going to switch it over to North American just because I prefer that architecture style as the default anyway. Going to leave all of this stuff turned off. We don't need tutorials. And in terms of a name, we're going with Walden, the city of Walden. Let's go. All right, we're in our brand new map. Oh, it feels nice to be in a map that has a beautiful frame rate and no issues. Does the water move if I go to pump? Oh my god, look, there's arrows. There are arrows. Now it does look like the water is kind of all flowing in this direction, but I guess there's two basins, so we could probably tap into another area if we needed to. Let's go ahead and figure out what we're doing here. I picked this map mainly because I liked that this is almost like an island. We've got this entranceway here, but for the most part, this is pretty separated from all of the land around it, so we can really focus on this section. And I want to build a city that grows off of the coast. So we'll start here along this coast. We'll begin to build out, and then we'll have to go back through as the city grows, destroy things to make room for new things, and just slowly see this evolve with time. I think the first thing we're going to want to do, I am going to go ahead and connect some of these roads up. We've got large roads in a set of 4 right here, which I don't feel like we need. We're going to back that all the way up. Let's turn on our guidelines, and I'm essentially going to settle, I think, the initial part of our build right here in this area. So I need to get this road over to there. And I will leave this weird roundabout. Will I? Yeah, let's leave it. It ain't hurting nobody. Okay. Let's send this over this direction. Do we go and do another turn? I think first let's go straight. And if I want to be in this basin area, I wouldn't mind sending this kind of right here along the middle. So let's turn on continuous curve. And we're going to come around like this. And I think send this straight along. Right here. Let's go ahead and get some kind of road layout going on over here. I need to have these guys turned on as well. So I do think we're probably going to rely on grids a decent amount for some of this. Just because why would you not? I mean, this is perfectly flat. We're right here against the water. But what I want to try to do, and I might build this myself, let's turn off snap to zoning cell length. I think that's the one that's always the problem. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and get an initial road that moves all the way along the course of the coastline. We're not going to make it into a key yet. We may come back in the future and upgrade this so that this does incorporate a key. But for now, we're just going to start by having this kind of intro road here. And we'll also bring it over here in a moment. Then I want to create some type of grid. So what we're going to do is we're going to send this road straight along here. And while I'm thinking about it, let's reconnect up with this guy. And let's actually go just like this. Send this road straight on in down to the coast. Just means I'm going to rework this little spot here. And we'll send this straight on out. Perfect. Okay. Now, I need to figure out what the block length is going to be here in this kind of initial area. I'm thinking because we're working along the coast, I'm going to start off by having the buildings pretty small, like 2 by 2. So what I wouldn't mind doing is having 2 by 2 with a little alleyway along the 5th level, right? Or the 5th cell. Okay. Then we come back, we do 2 by 2 And for this one, we do a regular. And let's just keep repeating that. 1, 2, 3, 4 along here on the 5th. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 along here on the last 2, 5 and 6. Okay. Now, is this going to make traffic terrible? It might. It might. We won't know until we try. And again, what I want to try to do in this city is be less committed to keeping things the way they are. Just because it was built a certain way doesn't mean we can't come back and just completely rebuild it later on down the road. Okay, I think this right here is going to be the last one. Right? So there's like a general step back. I think that's pretty decent. I really should start zoning and not just sit here and place roads that cost me money without doing any kind of generative income, but we're just going to do it. We're going to have all these roads connected there, but then I think along this edge, what I'd like to do is maybe send a road straight on down. And it will be a regular road. Let's connect this right here at the 90 and send this perfectly straight. Get rid of all of these little spots here. It does add a lot of intersections on this road, but it's off the main road, which is what I think matters most. There's quite a large set of blocks there, though, which isn't ideal, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Does this connect into here instead of this, though? That I think we do. We take this road, send it out this way. Maybe eventually that becomes some kind of roundabout. Not entirely sure. How far over do we want to go? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I wouldn't mind 10. I think 10 is perfect. I'm going to send this straight on up. I intentionally want tiny blocks kind of in this initial area. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because I think it's going to make this feel like an old town. Which over time we will upgrade probably into an old town. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kind of starting with the opposite of what we did with Second City. Where Second City, the old town came nearing the end of the series. Whereas here, I think that old town could come earlier. For now, that's a beautiful start. I love it. Okay. We should probably do some zoning, but before we can do that, we need power and water. So let's see what we've got going on here. We could just tap into the electrical grid, or we could look at generating our own. We have some substations, transformer, a windmill, 0 to 2 megawatts, small wind turbine 0 to 4 megawatts, and large wind turbine 0 to 6 megawatts. I mean, do we even have strong wind here? The strongest wind is over there. This area is not terrible. What can that make? Oh my god, only 2.36? 0.78? No, this area is not great for wind. Okay. It's far too early for us to be jumping into a coal power plant. This has a monthly upkeep of 2,000. The Netherlands substation, only 15,000 to build. It's actually smaller than the small station and the French station. What's this one? Oh, it's smaller than all of them. All right, we're absolutely building this. Now, I guess we have to figure out how we're going to connect all this up. This here we know is residential. There's going to be some commercial along the front. You know, eventually this could have a highway. It could have a park. It could have a quay. Who knows? It could be a port. This does seem to make the most natural sense for where we would begin some of our industrial buildings. So why don't we go ahead and you've got this intersection. I think we'll also take another road. We'll take this road. We're going to send it straight out. And then we're going to use the continuous curve. I know it's perfectly straight here, so like having a curved road isn't ideal. But if you notice, we're now matching this contour line. Right? Send it down. I think I do want to make it somewhat obnoxious. That way, we're kind of building along with the topography. Actually, that looks pretty nice. But that gives us a second entrance for the industrial. Eventually, this whole road might get upgraded into another 4-lane. But now that we have that, let's go ahead and place our little transformer station, which we've got this power line right here. Really, I mean, it would make the most sense just to have it at the end, but I do want to nestle it up in here. I think we need a small extra road for this. So let's go ahead and let's do it right from here. I think we're going to send this road out, curve it over, and send it out straight from here. Right along this area is going to be our little transformer. And I'm just going to, for the moment, connect straight up and in, just like that. So then that should power everything. All right, now that we've got power, we got to look into water. We've got a few options, and this is actually kind of fun to do this since all these packs have come out while playing our previous city, because I haven't actually had to compare many of these before. So we have the water pumping station. This extracts the water from a lake or river. All right, this is $5,000 a month, $25,000 to initially place down with $100,000 a month in terms of output. This is slightly cheaper, but only 1/10 of the water output. The EE water tower, okay, slightly cheaper again, but even less output, only 7,000. Small water tower costs more than a water pumping station, and these cost even more. Where I'm struggling is that the monthly cost is still 5,000. I wonder if it has less employees, and so that makes it cost maybe less than the water pumping station, but I don't want to just place them and have to deal with the cost of deleting them. Then we also have these two guys here. For the sake of the first town, let's go ahead and start with this multi-column elevated water tower. I mean, I think it is kind of pretty. And you would want it to be up high. So we could place it over here. Does this need to like pump from groundwater? Also, how much is a groundwater pumping station? It's got 10,000 a month upkeep. We're not ready for that just yet. But if we do industrial here, we're not polluting this large groundwater that we could eventually tap into. All right, let's do this guy. We're going to place this multi-columned elevated water tower, I think, right here. Then we're going to just take and connect straight on down. I don't know if it needs power or anything. There we go. There's our water tower. She looks great. All right, now we've got water. We've got some power. We need sewage. The only real option we have is a sewage outlet. It's not ideal, but there's nothing else we can do about it. And the only option we have right now is to dump it right here in this really pretty bay. Oh, it's so upsetting. Instead, we're going to place this right here where you're auto-connecting to the road. Do I like you there? No, not even a little bit, but I don't really have a choice because we have to have sewage. That's going to mean we're going to have to do a revitalization project for sure of this front area. All right, let's go ahead and start getting into some of our zoning. Now, eventually, this is going to upgrade into being like an old city, I think. Like the density of this area is going to slowly grow over time. But to start, I wouldn't hate doing some of these Netherlands low-density gable roofed houses. These are all little 2x2 sections. This might destroy any demand we have. I'm actually going to go ahead and fill all of these because the zoning is set up in the wrong way. Now, I do need to go and get, I think it's called Platter. I have not done that yet. It's on my list, especially for some of these areas. I meant to download it before I got started. Then I started recording and remembered it midway through. So we're going to get Platter. But for now, we're just going to use what we've got here, base game. Let's use some of the NA low-density waterfront businesses. I think for now, I will definitely place some of them along this road. But in reality, they would also be along this front road here, too. Let's place a set right there. Man, we really need some more commercial. Let's do commercial right here in this spot. We'll also do some commercial right here in this spot. Get some larger guys in here. And then let's try to figure out some of this industrial. Now, we could focus on fishing. How do I get this fishing and open water fish farming, you need level 4. So we're nowhere close. But we could do some livestock farming versus some dirty industrial. Do we have any? We do have some land that we could tap into. I think we are going to. Let's take this road. Send it out this way. And we need to get over to here. Let's just turn on resources. Give it a nice little curve here and head out straight. And then let's go ahead and just send this right here for now. Now, in this area, we're going to have a road that comes off. And this is where we're going to position the grain farm. So let's snap this to the road. We will set it back just a bit. And then we'll place it right here along the edge. And I think we need to place, I don't know, 5 or 6. We need a few. So let's go ahead and just get some farms over here. I think we need a number of them. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's get one more field in here. All right, this one can be tiny, but this way we'll have the dairy house. We've just unlocked 10. Beautiful. All right, so now we've got 10 of these guys here. That's great. I do think we need a second entrance. Just having one entrance does not make any sense to me. We can also probably get rid of that road, to be totally honest. We've unlocked the dairy house, which if we look, is free for us to build. It's plus 2% industrial efficiency citywide and plus 2% export profits citywide. Considering it's free, I think it's one of those buildings we should absolutely place down. I'm going to place this over here near the coast, and that gives us milestone 1 unlock. We're now a tiny village. We have $25,000 bonus. We also got 1 progress point and 3 new development points. So we've got the Church Inn, once a village pub. It now serves the suburbs as a country pub in the city, perfect for locals to catch up and talk rugby. And we got the Heath Pub, an inner city Victorian pub for locals to relax and forget their troubles. And the UK Small Petrol Station. And this place, and this place. Okay, that was a lot of places. How many people does this employ? 39. Okay. It does have a little bit of air pollution and ground pollution. And I actually, you know what? Hold on. I didn't really check. Okay. No. All this pollution is going to go out to sea. So we're fine if this area here becomes our little industrial area. I'm hoping that this helps with some of this industrial demand. I mean, unfortunately, until these guys really start to level up, they're not going to have a ton of workers just yet. 3 of 4, 2 of 3, 3 of 4, 3 of 3. These will slowly get more people working here. In the meantime, we can't leave it look like this. Let's go ahead and give it just some type of decoration to make it look semi-decent, because she does look a little busted at the moment. You know what? I'm realizing I did something wrong here. Oh, no, I built grain. I was like, I put the livestock on top of the fertile farming. I did not. Let's go ahead and place one of these guys here. These are the vegetable farming. We'll actually just slide this right up into here. Just a small guy, but something different, okay? Let me get back to doing some more tree work here. Okay, we've got our guys up and running. They're looking pretty good, and they are... We're still pretty low in terms of like general employment. I just don't think these buildings employ a lot of people. This one has 6, so that's not too bad. And we might continue to expand that as we go. How are you going? Do you have everybody employed? You do. That's great. We are at a 0% homeless rate with 31% unemployment. So I do think we have to start building out a little bit more commercial. To start building out a little bit more of our industrial. So let's go ahead and try to get some roads kind of in here for the moment. Connect all these guys up. We'll also send this back. I mean, it's going to be pretty gridded because we're working with limited space at the moment. Eventually, we'll switch things up and get a little bit further away from the grids. But for now, we are using grids on purpose. All right, this is going to connect, I think, right here. It gives us a weird shape here, but that's okay. That's okay. With this little bit we've got, do we add alleyways I don't think we do. I am going to use our one development point to get advanced road services because I do want to go ahead and slap down some key walls. Now, in all honesty, it's kind of a waste of our money to be doing key walls at this stage, but we are making money at this stage, which does not often happen. So the fact we're making money is a good thing. I don't know how we're making money. I am afraid to jinx it, but we are making funds. All right, if we fill all this in, get some beautiful industrial in there. We could also get some industrial right over here underneath the power lines. While that's happening, I'm also going to just slap down a number of trees in this area. All right, so all this is coming in. We're at 58%. I mean, I guess we could be speeding things up. Let's see how we're doing here. I mean, in terms of taxes, we're actually making decent revenue from taxes, which is crazy. Most of it coming from the commercial sector and the industrial sector. I will take it. I'm not mad about it. All right, let's see how this is turning out. A little samey for me, but at the end of the day, what's going to happen? We have unlocked medium density. So let me go ahead and turn off all of these different options, and let's just look at medium density row housing. I am going to fill in any of these areas that have not developed. Let's just see what happens. This is going to drastically increase the density of this area, which we may have a problem with our current roads. But they do want a lot of this type of housing. Okay, all this is now filled in. Great. We're keeping up with that demand pretty much in real time. We'll put some additional guys over here. Now, how's our businesses looking? This is our beachfront businesses. They are not the vibe. They are not the vibe at all. Let's switch that up. I'm actually going to do, we're going to do a little bit of a kind of collection of different styles here. I'm going to do the North American style right here. Because then what we can do with this is I can also come in here. Maybe we do a bike lane, bike pedestrian path that goes maybe along the back here, cuts over this direction. This side of the road, I think we give all the zoning to this side. Or really, we probably give it to this side, wouldn't we? So let's do this. We're going to give a bike lane coming right through here. Just like this. This is going to connect right up into here like so. Flip it around. There we go. So we've got a little bike connection there. And then I think we're going to also place more northeast style buildings right here. Go ahead, fill in that whole little area. I'm going to delete this corner one. Give us one more. There we go. And we might even consider doing the same here. I'm not entirely sure. I think for the rest of these, though, let's just change this. I really, really do not like this style. Especially not here. Not here. It does not work. All right, we still have some demand for commercial, which means that we could place some commercial buildings kind of in the heart of everything. And we're getting more demand for low-density row houses. Let's go ahead and fill in this area and this area. Then we can come back along and fill in the rest. And I'll do the same right here on this corner as well. So that's going to take care of all that demand. There's still somehow more commercial demand, which is crazy. Get rid of these. They are not the style. They are not the vibe. We could also just do NA low-density businesses, which are totally fine. I don't know what this central area will be, but I think this particular section is too good to pass up. That needs business on it immediately. Let's also do some business right in here. I'm half tempted. Let's do something a little different. Let's place a key wall on this section, right? We'll also, to match that, we'll place a key wall on this section. So we've got this kind of central area. Okay? I think we will get rid of Moore Street. Because there's still 1, 2, 3, 4 connections here, plus this one along the water's edge. And then I think what we do is we switch up the direction of this. We do a parking road in here. We grab 2-lane perpendicular, I think 2-lane angled parking. Place this right through here, just like so. Also, cut off zoning from those sides. And this central hub here becomes a commercial corridor. I'm going to place down a bunch of commercial. But then as these buildings are zoning in, I'm going to switch out some of them. Like this here. Is this whole thing a big building? Yeah, it was one big building. We're going to just pepper in a few northeast styles. Okay. And let's just see what comes out of this. I'm curious what that's going to look like. How is this going? We're starting to get some height. We're starting to see the density increase already in such a tight area, which is kind of wild. This is already zoned out. So let's go ahead and just fill in the rest. We're making money, which is a great sign, but we have no services. We do have a few dead people waiting around, and so I think that's probably the first thing we need to take care of. So let's go ahead and do our healthcare. We're going to go over to death care. Got some options. Now, the UK Parish Church, I know, is expensive because both of the expansions are $50,000 a month upkeep or something ridiculous. So we can't build that. There's the Netherlands Cemetery. This has got a lot of kind of individual add-ons, which I think could make this really cool. Fully modular. It is $27,000 a month. There's a small cemetery, which I guess for this size of town, a small cemetery could probably cover everything we need. We gotta start small. We cannot afford to be crazy here. I think it's going to go right here on the corner. Walnut Street. Or, no, I think it would go this way, which would mean that these blocks up this area can be a little bit larger than the siblings. So if I were to take this, send it out straight, snap it straight up and in, we can do the same with this stuff here. Bring this up, bring this over. And what this also has done is given us an opportunity to place parking or something along this side as well, which is great. We're almost at level 2, which is fantastic. Let's see what else we can do here. We do need a little bit more demand to fill out here, so we're going to go ahead and fill in all of these sections. We are also going to delete some houses as we continue to grow because we need to place down some parks. And what I will say that I like about this a lot is that these buildings allow me to like start an old little town over here. This is the old village. And we can slowly upgrade that, which I'm really excited about. All right, can we do districts yet? Not yet. How are you guys all doing? You look nice. Surrounded by trees. Surrounded by trees. Beautiful. 12 employees. 12 employees. 20 employees. We're saying we need more industrial, but I don't think all these buildings are full yet. But I will give you a little bit more. I will give you a little bit more. We're going to do a strip right here down to here. We will also cover this side as well. Going to keep all that nestled together. There are some areas where I think we could, especially with Anarchy, sneak in a tree or two. And I think it would go a long way. I'm trying to limit myself to using birches, oaks, and then there's also, I have to turn on European for this poplar, which are on this map as well. We've got a surface here that I think could be expanded. Go ahead and pop that over. I'm also tempted to say this whole area here is going to be turned into a grass surface. I know it's overkill, but look at that. That just looks so much nicer. All right, we've got this little area. We do need more commercial, and I think placing some commercial over here would kind of be nice. I am going to do some of this southwest low-density business, mainly because this is the kind of commercial that I think feels like it can stand alone a little bit, and it still works. We've got a road there. We could place some commercial right here, see what we get, and maybe one next to it without hitting this little cliff here. I would also just like to go ahead and take this straight on out a bit. I want to line it right up. Oh, it doesn't fit perfectly. Okay, it's going to be a little off center. That's okay. It's got to go that direction. All right, now we need ambulances, but are we making enough for that? Hold on. Monthly balance, 85,000. How much is the upkeep on this guy? This has a monthly upkeep of 27,000. But seeing that people are getting sick, if we don't get them healthy, then we're just going to have a really full cemetery in no time, which that's not helpful. Let's go ahead and fill in all those little crevices there so everything is zoned. Now, unfortunately, we're a small village. That's not unfortunate. We reached milestone 2, $50,000. Great. We've got some kind of tea salon. These are all three the same building. This I'm not as offended by. That's okay. Those three and these three are all the same. Pourquoi? Hold on. Northeast. Get rid of these two. Get rid of all three. Why are you only zoning that far back? Is what I would love to know. Who hurt you? What if I just place a regular right there and we place regulars right here and let that kind of do its own thing? We did kind of loosely start this bike network, so I am going to continue that at least here for the intro area. I don't want to get too far and regret not having done more bikes. So we're going to have bikes that go all the way along this road here. Ooh, but it's going to ruin those buildings. Sorry, guys. This whole series is about redevelopment. Once we've mastered the basics, it's time for us to start knocking things over. We've got some business along this road, so I'm also going to send it along this direction. So we've got a bike lane here that connects straight down to here, that then connects to this, which if we were to continue this, if I tack onto here and just place this right here, the bikes can now kind of connect over here. I might even, you know what? Hold on. I might even back this up further, like so. Rotate this around so that that crosswalk is nice and straight. Beautiful. And then here we would be hitting that building, which isn't ideal. Rotate both of these so they're facing the other direction. Now we've got our bike path kind of connected up through the back there. I will do a little bit more commercial here on the front. I think we'll do some regular schmegular. We'll leave that spot open. Maybe we'll leave that spot open instead. I mean, there's not a lot of zoning here. I really do have to get platter because I'm excited to see what we can build with a bit more dynamic zoning options, you know? All right, let's go ahead and just like make this into a little bit of like a park. Now that we've gotten all this together, the last thing we got to do is I do think we have to build out this ambulance. We can't live like this. We do have a few spots here that are not zoned at all. I must have forgotten to do them. Let's go ahead and grab the Netherlands townhouses. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to delete yours, but now that you're gone. And I will actually do... We've unlocked the medium density housing. Do we try a medium density house? I mean, let's try this Netherlands one. Why not? What do we got going on here? Very, very strange zoning. If I was to key wall that whole side, I mean, it's really unnecessary there, but we're going to do it anyway. and then I was to come back in here and place one of these. Is this only going to go 3 back? Okay, it does also go 2 back. Okay, we'll see what ends up zoning there. But now we need an ambulance. We need some kind of health care. We've got a small medical clinic, can serve 25 patients. We also have this is the Netherlands Small Medical Clinic. I mean, we've been doing Netherlands everything so far. I just want something cheap. That's 20,000. That's 30,000. 60, 60, 50, 60, 60. The EE clinic is great, but that range, 20,000 to 75,000, is just way too wide for me. Then again, this is no better. 7,500 all the way to 62,000. The small medical clinic has the best range of all of them. It only holds 25 patients and has 3 ambulances. So actually, this is better. It costs a little bit more, but this is better all around. So let's place the small medical clinic. For a second, I thought it fit in those blocks, and I was about to scream. Unfortunately, it does not, and it does not fit here either. I think I'll place it right here. Still along this kind of main strip here, which definitely could use some work and some love. This little shopping area. But now we've got right along the bike lane a medical clinic to help take care of some of these folks. I mean, okay, it's coming together. We've got a nice, decent industrial area here. We've got all this moving here. I still can't do the district creation tool, but we are a level 2. And even with that clinic, we are still making money. Now, how much do you actually cost me a month? At the moment, 19,000. It's going to go up a little bit more because we are still waiting on one more person to work here. We need someone who's well educated. Oh, and we got a medium petrol station. All right, let's see what else we got in here that we've unlocked. We unlocked this tea salon. I don't think we need that. We haven't unlocked anything here. Tea salon, nothing here. We do have a few things down here that I am interested in. So the small UK and the medium UK petrol stations, both of them reduce import costs. I'm less concerned about the city attractiveness. We don't have enough stuff to make the city attractive yet. But considering these are free, there's no reason I shouldn't use these right off the bat. Let's do a small petrol station. Kind of right along here, maybe. This is the main strip. You're driving into town. Maybe this is where the medium petrol station goes, somewhere in this area. I think right here could be great. Once these finish building too, we'll be able to see what this is going to look like. I mean, hold on. I will say, if we just did that, right? Go with me on this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Then we could even do this. Can't seem to get enough along here. I want a little bit more. But this doesn't go far enough over. I want one right here. Why can't I zone something right there? I wonder if I can put a park there. We haven't unlocked parks yet. No, we don't have parks. When do we get parks? Not until level 4. Everything comes at level 4. Okay, so we have this small petrol station, which is kind of perfect. Right on the main strip. You come on down. Boom. You slide in. Get yourself some petrol. That's great. We'll leave this open for something. Something has got to go there. I don't know what just yet. Okay. I do think we also place the other one. Where's the small one? So that's the medium. Let's place a small one over here somewhere. It is too deep, which is actually perfect. Eventually, one of these roads is going to be upgraded into something larger. I think we'll place this right here. No, we won't. We're going to place it right here on Walnut Street, right by all of this commercial. Now, we do have 2 of the exact same building, which I don't like. So what we're going to do to fix that is I'm going to split this block into 2. That way you have 2 different types of commercial right there. But then again, do we even need it? I could just do this. And we could fill it up with some slightly more dense, medium residential. I do have to say, I like all the umbrellas in the back. Any other last things in here? We have the Fox Inn Pub. My fear with some of these is that we're not going to have enough people to patron the pubs and those kinds of businesses. And we've already unlocked our first and placed our first unique building there, which is great. This is coming together nicely. Let me put down some trees here. I think we need a little bit more, just something. Like, I need to find a tree that fits in here. The poplar fits. The poplar fits. Okay, we put a little trees in here. That's looking pretty nice. I think we're going to leave this area undeveloped because there's going to be more we got to do in there. While we're waiting for those final little buildings there to come in, I am going to expand all of this concrete here. I think along this side. Make that into some type of courtyard. And then we'll place some mowed grass right behind it. Now, one thing I do want to try to do with this city is move a little bit slower at the start here. Let's make sure we make things look really nice before we move on to the next section. Nothing crazy, but I do want to see myself just move a little bit slower. Okay, now these guys are almost done. We've got those all built in. Those actually look great in the 2x2 block. I'm very excited to see how these work. So right now this says 6 households with 7 residents. 7 residents, 7 residents. These guys here only have 2 residents. So we're already starting to increase that density. Then these townhomes have 4, 3, 4, 3. Great. All right, I think that might be where we leave it for the moment. We have no commercial demand. We could build just a little bit more industrial. I'm going to lay out just a few more streets here. Send this straight on back to here. I'm going to connect right into this segment here and go ahead and delete both of these. Now, let's give it just a little bit more industrial. We need it. So that'll fill out most of that demand. And now if we check here, we've got more than enough demand coming in for both of our types of housing. There's not a lot of local demand for commercial because we need more residents. And there's not enough labor to really make more demand for industrial. So once all this builds in, we'll have more jobs available, hopefully, than we've got space for. 7.8 unemployment. There's 954 jobs. 584 people are employed. So at the moment, we're just going to hang with this right here. I think this is kind of perfect. But I think that might be where we leave this part here. It's the very beginning of this build. I'm trying to make sure I remember all of the things that have been added to this game since we started our last series in Second City. So we've got a little bit of bike infrastructure. We'll expand on that in the next part. We have got some of the unique buildings already right off the bat just to bolster our finances and support the city. And we've got a pretty decent farming area back here, which I don't know, do we... 4 employees, 3 employees, 2? No. So these don't really end up with a ton of employees on their own, but I would like to think about building a ton of them wherever we can fit farming, because we've got a lot of farmable land. There's actually great resources on this map. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.